I'm Dan Clark. I work for Clark Consultants, the firm that specializes in making work environments safe by helping others solve occupational health problems. I made this video to show you how to become certified in the occupational hygiene profession. It's a follow-up video to another I made called Becoming an Occupational Hygienist. You should see it if you want to find out what an occupational hygienist does and why you'd want to become one. You can find my other video by going to clarkconsultants.ca. Now, occupational hygiene is a profession that uses science and engineering to prevent ill health caused by the environments in which people work. It's a profession that's at the forefront of saving workers' lives, but few people know about it, and even fewer actually get to practice. Historically, the only way to become qualified as an occupational hygienist was to get a degree in science and work 5 years in the field and finally write some national certification examinations. People who passed the examination became certified industrial hygienists in the United States, CIHs, or registered occupational hygienists in Canada, ROHs. Little in the way of formal education was available to those early pioneers in the field. They had to study complex subjects such as occupational hygiene monitoring, noise, toxicology, epidemiology, ventilation, and radiation by themselves without the ability to take any courses at school. People who wanted to learn how to do the profession basically had to find some obscure, often outdated textbooks, something like this, and then teach it to themselves. They also had to get a job in occupational hygiene, usually without any prior experience, and then practice the profession for the 5 years before they were allowed to write the 2 days worth of certification exams. Then in the 1970s and 80s, there were a few master's degree and diploma programs established, first in the United States and Great Britain, and then in Canada and Australia. Many of today's qualified occupational hygienists came from these schools, but there continue to be only a few schools in even a fewer number of countries. In Canada, there are only master's programs available in occupational hygiene and a few introductory courses that can be taken as part of some type of general safety diploma or certificate. Students generally have to go to Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal to take any one of the master's programs. Distant learning opportunities haven't been available for those that want to work and learn at the same time. The situation is similar in the US, which, while it has more schools, still often requires students to travel out of state to get some basic training in occupational hygiene. In most other places in the world, people interested in the field actually have to leave the country to find occupational hygiene training. Places in the third world that often have the most dangerous and toxic working conditions don't have access to the basic education they need to be able to fix them. But all that's changing now, with the recent establishment of an International Occupational Hygiene Training Association, with the help of the International Occupational Hygiene Association. The Training Association is a very exciting development because it opens up the whole occupational hygiene practice and training to the world. People now basically understand how to control some occupational health hazards. What's been developed are standardized courses that can be delivered anywhere. The association develops training materials, makes them available for use by students and their approved training providers. They also promote an international qualifications framework so that all hygienists are trained to a consistent, high standard that's recognized worldwide. The association began as an informal collaboration between dedicated occupational hygiene professionals who wanted people around the world to enjoy the benefits of healthy working environments. It's since matured into an international framework supported by national occupational hygiene associations from around the world, including those in Canada, Australia, the United States, and Great Britain. The association now has 8 different courses on occupational hygiene. Each is designed to be completed over a week, roughly about the same amount of time you'd take for a class course in any university. This allows the student to gain the in-depth knowledge they need to be able to actually practice occupational hygiene. None of the courses require prerequisites, but registrants need to come prepared to practice some of their high school math and science. The main qualification that can be obtained through this association is something called the International Certificate in Occupational Hygiene. It has an acronym ICertOH. The certificate demonstrates some basic technical knowledge and the practical skills you need to identify health hazards, to assess occupational exposure, do some testing, and to recommend some control measures. It's suitable for people who want to carry out measurements and testing in the workplace, and the qualifications have been designed so that it can be recognized by national associations as contributing to their own requirements for accreditation. You can work towards the international certificate by basically studying the Occupational Hygiene Training Association courses. These are, as I mentioned earlier, designed as 5-day taught courses that provide practical hands-on training. Students are taught in small groups by approved training providers, and the courses are very interactive with workshops and exercises. On completion of each module, you receive an award of successful course completion for that module from the British Occupational Hygiene Society. This is the group that marks the examinations. To obtain the international certificate, you must complete 6 courses, including 4 core subjects and 2 others, chosen from 3 options. The core subject areas include W501, measurement of hazardous substances; W503, noise measurement and its effects; W505, control of hazardous substances; W507, health effects of hazardous substances; and the optional subjects include W502, the thermal environment; W504, asbestos and other fibers; W506, ergonomics essentials. These courses in the International Certificate in Occupational Hygiene provide excellent preparation for those that want to go on and pursue national certification in Canada or the United States. Clark Consultants is an Occupational Hygiene Training Association approved training provider and delivers the entire range of courses. Go to clarkconsultants.ca to find out when our next course is scheduled or to request one in your area. Leave a question below or send us an email at info@clarkconsultants.ca if you want to know more about occupational hygiene. And hit the like button if you found this information helpful. Thanks very much for your time.